Hello and welcome to 2019 from Clueless in a Caravan. We are here, we are clueless, and we're in our caravan. So it is March the 9th, and we've popped into Jackson to check that all is well. We come in about every 4 weeks or so during the winter. Make sure there are no leaks or any damage or anything like that, no smell of damp. And as always, Jackson has passed with flying colours.
He does not disappoint.
We can't wait to get out in him. We are planning to go next weekend on the first available day at our local site. I think most of the Caravan Club sites open on that particular day, the 15th, Friday the 15th of March. So that will be the day that we have our first trip out. And the big news is that we will be taking a new car. Boris has been reprieved and been replaced in terms of pulling the caravan by a 2003 Kia Sorento 2.5. We'd been talking at the end of last year about taking pity on Boris, and we decided we couldn't afford to, and then thought, as in a similar way as to with the caravan, where we thought we couldn't afford a caravan until we actually went and looked at what you can get for a couple of grand these days. A 20-year-old caravan such as ours is it's completely fine. It's absolutely fine. Until you've been in them, it's difficult to appreciate just how well built caravans were then. I mean, presumably they still are, but they certainly were then. And it was the same with the car. We decided just to have a look at what cheap cars were available. And yes, it's 15 years old, but it's done modest mileage. It's a diesel automatic, which I was also a bit nervous about, but absolutely fine. I love it now. And it's a half a ton heavier than Boris. It's taller, so the airflow should be better. It shouldn't feel quite so much as though the caravan is pulling back on us when we're towing. And it's taller and heavier, and a bit longer and a bit wider. So in every way, it is a better choice. Had the tow bar already fitted. We had it looked over, obviously, by the mechanic. But suffice it to say that had you told us a couple of years ago that we could have had a complete outfit of caravan and car for less than £3,000, we wouldn't have believed it. Or at least, yes, we would have believed it. We would have thought that both would be rubbish, whereas actually both are great. So it'll be the first test will be next weekend, actually, when we go out for the first time. But so far so good. Everything's checked out. Mechanic says it's a great car. He's also coming to check Jackson next week before our first trip out. I have fitted a new breakaway cable, which we'll see in a minute. And I've also given the front of Jackson a quick wash with a power washer that we've been sent to have a look at. And again, you'll see that shortly. You've been busy inside, haven't you?
Yes, yeah, everything's had a scrub and a dust. The throws have all been washed and put back on, so we're clean and tidy. And I've let all the flies out that were
I don't know where they're coming from.
Camping in here over the winter.
This has proven to be a revelation to me, this caravanning lark.
You would think that a 20-year-old caravan was only fit for chickens to live in, wouldn't you? But it's not, because it's been looked after by the previous owners. It's perfect. Yeah,
I mean, I would, in a perfect world, having had it for a year now, and now that we've got a slightly bigger car, I would like something a bit bigger.
With a fixed bed.
Yeah, with a
fixed bed would be lovely.
Oh my God!
Oh dear,
can you imagine fixed bed in the back? Now, as it happens,
George would fight over who.
No, he wouldn't.
Ownership.
He wouldn't win that fight. When we've got the awning up, when we're somewhere for a few nights, then we can leave the bed in the front up, and you've effectively got a fixed bed then, because you're living in the awning. But when the weather's cold, we're not even going to bother with the awning next weekend. It's just not worth it in this weather. But in the meantime, it would be nice not to have to put them up at night. But it's not a big deal. Everything else about the caravan's fine. Just the windows, really. Heating works, everything else works. So we're looking forward to cracking on. We're going to give it a practice hitch up now with the new car, and just move it a bit, just to give the wheels just to move it onto another part of the wheels, the tyres. Got new tyres last year, and I want them to last as long as possible. But that's it for us. If you compare this video with my attitude in the video I made in January of last year, the first video on this series, you'll notice a change in my attitude, which is last year I was nervously anticipating enjoying caravanning. This year I'm
anticipating enjoying
I have no worries at all about towing it.
Yeah.
It was fine. There were a few hairy moments, but we know what to do about it now, and I can't wait to get away. So this is the old breakaway cable here. As you can see, it's a bit rusty. As I said, we don't really know when it was fitted. I'm going to be putting one of these on, and now that I've looked underneath, actually this doesn't look too bad. So what I'm going to do is, I've got a hacksaw with me. If I'd bought some cable snippers, I could probably got it off with that. Basically, I'm going to get that off and then just thread the new one through. Well, that wasn't too bad. So I'm going to take the end that's got the locking nut on. There we are. Right, so I've unlocked it. Thread it round this, which is what activates the brake. And then secure it. Nice and tight. And then I've left the old one in so that I can see where it went through. There we go. There we go. So there's the old one and the new one. Let's pull the old one out now. That's it, all done. Ready for our first trip of the year. Although Jackson's weathered the winter really well, there's no sign of any new damp or anything like that. Smells great inside. He obviously needs a bit of a wash and brush up. So I've been lucky enough to be sent this pressure washer. It's called the Bosch Fontus, and it is battery powered and has a 15 litre reservoir. It's not as powerful as a mains powered pressure washer, but then we don't want anything powerful when washing a Caravan, because we might end up with more of it inside than out. But it's I think it's 12 to 15 bar maximum, but I'm going to be using it on the lowest setting. As you can see, we've got 3 settings. I'll bring it around this side, and I'm going to be using the lowest setting, and then we've got sort of various spray patterns, and I'll be using the widest spray pattern. This is really convenient because although we've got water out here at the storage yard, we haven't got power. So when we tested it on our cars, we were able to get 2 full car washes in on one charge of the battery, and it's a standard Bosch battery that can be used for power tools. So let's give it a go. there's still a bit of moss left around the windows and such like, but I need really to take the windows out to get into there with a toothbrush or something, and I'm not doing that in this weather. I'm going to wait until it's a little bit warmer, a little bit drier. But it's done a great job. I've used a higher pressure setting on the grips here to get the moss out from behind there and in here, and I don't think any water's got inside. But overall it's done a great job. It looks certainly a lot better than it did earlier. I'm not going to do on the top. You can see on the top that it's still a bit dirty, but I haven't got the ladder with me, and I wanted really just to test it out to see what a result we get. So that's the Bosch Fontus pressure washer, absolutely ideal for caravans. And I managed to do that one without being interrupted by the wife. So that's Jackson having had a nice quick wash before we take him away for his first weekend. When the weather's a bit better, I'll obviously give it a proper clean, but we've got most of the moss off. Been quite careful to make sure that I'm using a low pressure setting around the windows. There's still quite a lot of moss around the windows, but I need to open them up, probably get them out and give that a proper scrub. But otherwise